Hello everyone. As promised, I said I was going to come on and do a live today, but I just want to wait a few minutes before we get started so some other people can log on. I hope you are having a decent Monday, especially considering what we're going through. So, I definitely wanted to come on and talk about that and some of the legal implications of this incident. So, if you just bear with me for a minute while I wait for some other people. I do want to let you know that I have my notes over here just because I don't want to forget anything. So if you see me glancing down, it's not that I'm not looking at you, but I just want to make sure that I relay all the information that was gathered today. Okay. Thank you. If you are here, can you give me a thumbs up or a heart, please? All right. Hi, Hakeem. Thanks for joining in. And also, where are you guys located? Can you let me know? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Corinne Koger. I'm an attorney. I'm based out of New Jersey. I am from the Philadelphia area. I grew up in Cheltenham. I am a proud Hampton grad. So of course, I have my Hampton mug right here. I'm also a proud Howard University School of Law grad, and I have a firm, the Koger Law Firm, and I specialize in intellectual property. So I was not doing lives last year, but I decided I was going to step it up. This year I was going to start to do lives, so this is the first one of the year. And again, I did not expect it to be under these circumstances. So again, thank you for joining on. This is coming to you from both the Koger Law Firm and from the Entrepreneurs Legal Lounge. That is a Facebook group that I started about at the end of November to have a place where we can gather business owners, entrepreneurs in a group and just talk shop. So matter of fact, I'm going to try to add the link here. Give me a second. Okay, there it goes. So if you are interested in joining the E-Legal Lounge group, the Entrepreneurs Legal Lounge, the link is there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So for those of you who may not be listening live, and you might listen to this later down the line, today is Monday, January 27th. Unfortunately, this country and the world actually lost a beautiful person. We lost Kobe Bryant yesterday in a helicopter accident. I'm going to get back to that in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about what I like to do on Mondays. So normally Mondays in the group are motivational Mondays. We like to post quotes or just give a tidbit or some type of encouragement, especially because it's the beginning of the week. So today's motivational quote that I picked before everything happened it's by Anthony J. D'Angelo, who works in higher education. And today's message was, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you'll never cease to grow. I am a big advocate for learning. I'm always reading. I'm always checking things out. I love the internet. For those of you who know me personally, you know that's true. But in light of what happened yesterday, I decided to add 2 more quotes that were from Kobe Bryant. The first one is, the most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they do. The second quote, which is very eye-opening to me, especially considering who it was coming from, Kobe said, I have self-doubt, I have insecurity, I have fear of failure. I have nights when I show up at the arena and I'm like, my back hurts, my feet hurt, my knees hurt, I just don't have. I just want to chill. We all have self-doubt. You don't deny it, but you also don't capitulate to it and you embrace it. So again, I thought it was very fitting to start off this week. So as I stated, Kobe passed yesterday in a helicopter accident. Along with him were other people. His daughter, Gianna, also called Gigi, she was 13 years old. And I want to make sure that I mention all of the other passengers that were on the helicopter. And if I screw up some of the names, please forgive me. So there was the Altobelli family. There was John, who was an Orange Coast college head coach. His wife, we were hurt. And I know that most of the country is hurt. Like I said at the top of the broadcast, I'm from Philadelphia. I grew up in Philadelphia, as did Kobe. He is a year younger than me. I remember him from when he was going to Lower Merion School. Saw him play. He came up to Cheltenham High School a couple of times. This was a very real person to me and very real to a lot of people in this area. I know that he's touched a lot of hearts. I know that he's touched LA. I know that he's touched players all over the world. But it was like, because of the fact that we're the same age, I feel like we grew up together. Looked at all of his trials and tribulations, and just watched him grow from a 17-year-old boy to a 41-year-old man with a wife and 4 children. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss is TMZ. Can you guys put or add into the comments what you think about TMZ and the fact that they reported this? Because during the press conference yesterday, one of the officials made a very strong statement against TMZ. Apparently, TMZ reported this before the families were informed. There have been a lot of people that have been calling for TMZ to apologize, to be shut down, calling them all types of names. But just to play devil's advocate, somebody is going to report first. So is it worse if it's TMZ, which is considered a gossip site? Or is it better if it is a notable news organization? Or does it matter because of the fact that the families were not notified? Sorry about that. I don't think people know I'm on the live. So hopefully you're back. So if you have any opinion on that, please post it. Like I said, I have a tendency to believe TMZ. The founder, Harvey Levin, he's also an attorney. He's the producer. He's a legal analyst. He's a celebrity reporter. And I feel like he doesn't want to get sued. So again, is this TMZ's fault? Is it the news's fault? Okay, Marlon commented, TMZ is in business of being first, with multiple outlets sit on this info awaiting family notification. It's tough. It's very tough. So I agree, Marlon. Somebody is going to be first. Do you think that TMZ has an obligation to send out a statement at the same time? What was TMZ and what were the other news channels supposed to do? So, but like I said, I'm an intellectual property attorney. I focus on trademarks and copyrights. And so this was an interesting piece of TMZ news as well. So TMZ Sports reported today that Kobe's corporation had just applied for a trademark in the name of Mambacita for his daughter. As I stated, his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi, was on the flight. Gigi has been developing into a very good athlete. Kobe has taken a lot of pride in coaching her. There was a viral video, I believe it was about a month ago, when they were at a game together, sitting in the front row. You could see him explaining the game to her. And it was very touching because at this point, Kobe has graduated. He's in the second phase of his life. And there's so many things that he was into, but number one, he was a father. So the fact that he passed away with his daughter is not able to protect her, is heartbreaking. But I bring up the TMZ Sports News because they dropped this information about the trademark. So one thing they say about Kobe and they talk about is his legacy. So in filing for this trademark through his corporation, he was already starting to prepare for Gigi's legacy. One of the most important things that you own in the world, especially if you're a business owner, are your trademarks. They are your copyrights. Now, hold on one second because I just want to address some of the comments. Sorry. Can the family sue? So, in general, you cannot sue for libel if it's true. So, unless there's another basis, my answer would be no. Would they sue? That's possible. You can sue for anything. Everybody can sue for anything in this country. It does not mean it's going to be successful. Marlon, what's more troubling is they said that Kobe was survived by his 4 daughters. Correct. So when you hear that Kobe is survived by 4 daughters, you assume that all daughters are alive. Come to find out later that Gigi passed. So, again, that is hard. So when the news broke about Kobe Bryant passing, I guess it was, and it sounds like they did not release the names of other people, but there was also rumors that Rick Fox was on the helicopter. So imagine the fear that his family would have gone through if they were watching the news. And he or his family, Jameis, would probably have a means to sue. But like I said, I wanted to talk about Kobe's legacy and Gigi's legacy. So again, he just filed for this trademark on December 30th. He filed an intent to use application. So what's that? So if you have a trademark that you want to use, but you're not using it yet, it's not being used in commerce yet, you don't have it on a t-shirt, you don't have the logo for it yet, you can file an intent to use application. So this application was filed in class 25. So that was for athletic shirts, shorts, hats, jerseys. So Kobe and his corporation intended on using Mamacita for his daughter to promote her. And like I said, he wanted to protect her. Now, at the same time, he filed other trademark applications for his businesses. He already owns some, and all this information is public information on the U.S. Patent and Trademark website. But at the same time, he filed for Mamacita. He also filed for, he filed for Mamba Sports Academy. He filed for Rise. He filed for logos for the Sports Academy and logos for Rise. So there are other celebrities that have filed trademarks for their children. Jay-Z and Beyonce, there's a big trademark dispute over Blue Ivy. I think it's still going on. I'm not 100% sure. But what are your thoughts on Kobe and his corporation doing this for Gigi? Another thing that was important that I wanted to point out to you guys, and how important this is, especially in the untimely death, is that any individual can file for a trademark. However, you can also file for the mark underneath your company. Now, whether you file for the mark individually or underneath your company, it's something that you own. It is something that can be passed on. It is something that when you do die or when you do pass, it can be still held in your family or in the company. So that's important. So right now, the first person I really thought about when I was talking about the trademark issue was Aaliyah. So there has been a lot of issues around Aaliyah getting her music released, having it on streaming. using her image and her likeness for MAC, makeup and cosmetics, these other things. I predict that this is going to happen with Gigi. She was a beautiful girl with a beautiful spirit, with a life ahead of her. And it was a smart move by Kobe. So, needless to say, Kobe, Mamba, he wrote the book, The Mamba Mentality, How I Play, focusing singularly on your goals, how to attack your goals. This is something that did not just apply to himself, his daughter, and other players. Almost anybody with a goal can apply that to their lives. So, Jermise, Kris Jenner has a lot of trademarks. She does, many of which she won't comment on. Why is that? So people have different reasons for trademarking. And maybe they don't want you to know what the trademark is for or what they own. So like I said, you can file for the trademark under your name or under your business name. I believe Kanye has about 250 trademarks under his name. He tried to trademark a Sunday service and was initially denied. So that is a part of the process. When you file your application for a trademark, it will be assigned to somebody to look over it. That person is the examiner, and they will issue something that says whether your trademark could potentially be denied, whether there are some issues with your application and maybe you need to correct them. These are called office actions. Or they might have a more substantive reason why they're going to deny your application, and you can respond to that. So on another live, I think I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to address Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and their trademarks. Somebody, Rosalind called Kris Jenner the devil. Or was that Kris Jenner or was that Kanye West? I'm not sure which one it was. Oh my goodness. So another thing that I wanted to mention, again, I went automatically to the intellectual property because that's what I focus on. We also just lost Nipsey Hussle, who I can admit that I did not know about Nipsey Hussle before he passed. I would say he's a generation behind me. I still pretty much listen to 90s hip hop and R&B, but he touched a lot of people, and I'm gonna get to that question in a second. He touched a lot of people. So the question is, can we trademark anything? Sounds like a quick way to make money. No, you cannot trademark absolutely anything. So it depends on how you're using the mark, how you want to use the mark in the future, whether the mark is available, whether somebody else is using it already. So what happens is in the trademark application process, you and your attorney, if you choose to get one, should, before filing for the trademark, to see if it's available or if there's something out there that's similar to the mark that you want to trademark, and anticipate if they're going to have any issues. So what I think I'm going to do is do a seminar or do a webinar just on the whole trademark process from A to Z. That way more people can have a better understanding of the trademark process, because it's a question that I get a lot. But I mentioned Nipsey Hussle because he, interestingly enough, also had a trademark issue after he passed. I believe that he did not file the mark for The Marathon Continues, which is what he used on his store, on his album, on his clothing. Originally, both the, I'm going to get with that comment too, Tito. Originally, both the Crips and the Buds jointly filed for The Marathon Continues trademark. One of the gangs, for lack of a better term, were not eligible to file for it. The other one was. So this is information that they received from the trademark office and the office action. It's so what was horrible about this is everybody talks about how Nipsey was such a good business person, but this was something that apparently just slipped through the cracks. So after Nipsey passed, his brother was in charge of his estate. After the Crips and the Bloods filed for the Marathon Continues trademark, he went and filed for the trademark. And if they were to continue, there could be a battle between the two of them or anybody else that filed for the Marathon Continues mark. And one of the things that you need to show is your use of the mark, how long you've been using the mark, how you've been using the mark, how long you've been using it in commerce versus the other person. So Tito says, Under Armour tried to sue my sister for using purple armor. I can see that. There are a lot of companies, especially major companies, who have a company of attorneys. They watch their trademarks closely. What happens is every Tuesday, the USPTO prints a list of trademarks that are eligible to finish the trademark process, but they're posted for opposition, meaning if they get through all the way up to that process, they're posted. If anybody that opposes it and has like a legal standing to oppose the mark, they can, they can contact the trademark office, say that I opposed it, and the parties would generally have to work it out. So in this case, thankfully, with Nipsey Hussle, the gangs decided that they were not going to pursue the mark. I think that that was the best thing for them to do, especially considering the fact that you're supposed to be promoting peace and unity in the neighborhood, but you went and filed a mark for his company. So I'm glad that they were able to work that out. It's my understanding that it was worked out without litigation, but it just shows another example of how you have to protect your mark and protect your business. So there's a question. I want to file a trademark for the name of the coaching and training method I have created. Can I do that? So if you want protection for the coaching and training method, and it is in a written or tangible form, such as a Word document, a PDF, that would actually be a copyright instead of the trademark. So you would contact the Copyright Office, which is copyright.gov. And again, I see that webinar breaking down the process and letting you guys know the difference between the two, because they are important. And especially in this day and age with everybody online, it's so easy to find access to this information and to use it. Anybody else can use it. So teachers have been going through this with plagiarism, but this is an area of law that is, I want to say that it's, I'm not going to say becoming more litigious, but there are just so many marks that are being applied for right now, and you really have to stay on top of things. So the other reason why I mentioned Nipsey Hussle is he passed away young. Nobody could anticipate what was going to happen to him. Kobe passed away young. Nobody can anticipate that. So the question would be is do you have your affairs in order? Do you have life insurance in order for your family? Do you have your healthcare directives in order? Do you have a will? Some of us come on social media, sometimes jokingly, sometimes not, talking about people who are not prepared for the untimely passing of somebody in their family, and they have a GoFundMe, or they're having a fish fry in order to raise money to bury their loved ones. But you're not worried just about a funeral or a burial. There are so many other factors that have to be considered. This is not my area of the law. I do not do estate planning, but I thought that it was something that I should mention because it is important when you have not just an untimely death, but when you have a death. Unfortunately, I could not attend this event, but I know that Jason Lloyd's funeral home in Philadelphia actually had a workshop or a seminar about preparing for the death of a member of a family yesterday. So if you're interested in that, I think you guys should reach out to Jason Lloyd's funeral home, and maybe they'll do another class. Let's see. Questions. I want to file the trademark for the name of the company and training method I created. Can I do that? So I wouldn't trademark the title of the method separately. So the trademark, you could trademark the title and you can trademark the logo. But the actual training method, if that is written in form, that would be a copyright. So that's the difference between the two for your situation. But again, I'm going to come back and do another webinar or a live talking about what can be trademarked, what can be copyrighted, what's the difference in both. So I'm glad that you guys jumped on tonight and participated. If you have any questions, I am eligible to be reached on Facebook. You can inbox me. My website is kogerlawfirm.com. I'm going to for you. Let's see. Copy. Okay, there you go. There is the contact information if you want to get in touch with me. If you want to have a consultation about your potential trademarks, your potential copyrights, I'm available for that as well. And I thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to try to do these on a regular. And so when I get the schedule down, I'll definitely let you know. If you have any questions that you want answered on the Facebook Live, please inbox me, message me. I want to answer your questions. I want to be here to help you. So with that, I am signing out, and you guys have a great evening.